Welcome back to Excel. This is a mental evolution podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Seth Rose, and today is episode 14. So I just got home from work, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this idea of having a work-to-home routine. So what is a routine? A routine is something that you do intentionally to make things more consistent in your life so that way you have more control over your day-to-day. Now, a work-to-home transition routine is meant to be an intentional process to get you to be more present in either your work or your home life. And it's purposeful. So you're adding in things that are deliberate. So this can be in your job life. So transitioning from work at your job to your home life. So that way you can be more present with your friends or your family or your loved ones. Or if you're an athlete and you are bouncing around from school to practice in the evening, back to home, this is a great way for you to incorporate this type of routine to allow you to be totally present and focused in on the tasks that you're about to do. So that way you're not distracted by what just happened, say, at school, when you're trying to now focus on practice. So I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of generally what my work-to-home routine looks like. And it's going to be different for everybody, but I just want to give you an example, and you can work off of that. So at the end of the workday, I typically do kind of a last systems check where I go and check any last-minute emails that I've missed or haven't responded to for the day, or if anything comes through that I need to address that day before I leave, I take care of that. Once that's done, I go over my to-do list. I have kind of like a notepad that has a running to-do list, and I then star things based off priority that I've created at the beginning of the workday. Any taskers or things on the to-do list that I didn't finish, I typically will create my new to-do list for the next day, and those will get added to tomorrow's to-do list. And this also doubles as like a putting thoughts down on paper, so that way when you do get home, you're not really thinking about those things, and you can say that, hey, I've put those things down on paper. I'm not going to forget about them, and that way you can be more present at home. You're not going to be tossing and turning in your sleep thinking about stuff that you forgot about at work. When I get to my truck, I typically will give myself usually about 60 seconds. I really don't time it ever. I just kind of allow myself to focus in on my breath. And this is a time for me to take that purposeful pause before I leave. And it really grounds me, and it kind of clears my mind and allows me to focus and be present in that moment. And then this might sound cheesy, but at the end of that breath work, before I actually leave work, I say to myself, shut down complete. And what this does is it's a verbal cue, and it's a cue to the mind and the body to allow yourself to move on to the next thing. Cue phrases or cue words can be really powerful, and typically the body will listen to, or the mind will listen to the body, and vice versa. So if I'm relaxed from the breath work, and then now I'm saying to myself that this shutdown routine is complete, I'm allowed to now move on to the next thing that I have going on, which is driving home, or maybe I'm going to meet my wife for dinner somewhere, etc. So take a look at your routine. What does your transition routine look like? If you're an athlete, maybe that's putting on your headphones and starting some music. Maybe you do also focus in on your breath work. Maybe you're laying out your clothes or your gear before practice. Or maybe you even have some sort of cue that crosses you over that mental threshold of a door to turn into athlete mode. So think about what you do. If you don't have anything, it doesn't have to be crazy long, 60 seconds to 5 minutes, My example probably takes me a total of like maybe 3 minutes, depending on if somebody, you know, walks in or if I see somebody on my way to my truck. But just make sure that it's intentional and purposeful, and deliberate. All right, that's all I got for us today. We'll catch you next time.